Cerna behind the plate. That'll quickly even it up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I thought Reagan Ricken did a nice job yesterday coming in and establishing that slider early, really throwing it for strikes. Marco Paz, when he threw the ball well against South Carolina, was able to do the same thing.
Paz delivers another off-speed pitch to get him ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sear last night kind of sums up the night. He went 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, an RBI, and was walked 3 times. Here's the 1-2. And he will hit this one high in the air. Stanfield going back. Milam helping direct the angle. And with 1 foot just shy of the track, Stanley makes the play for out number 1.
Well, big first out on the leadoff hitter. And that ball actually traveled a little more than I thought. Didn't look like it was hit all that well and just kind of kept carrying and carrying. But Stanfield able to squeeze it. Wind blowing tad out to right center field. Not a strong wind by any means, but certainly is blowing out.
Now, one of the things we noticed after arriving here was the wind not overpowering, but at times, or most of the time, blowing out towards Tiger Stadium. Brendan Lawson, busy man last night. Sophomore shortstop out of Ontario, made a couple of really great plays defensively. He's got a .288 average on the season. The first pitch, a called strike as Paz starts him off with a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Lawson went 1 for 4 with a run scored. This one he'll send foul, and it's now 0-2. So Marcos jumps ahead early.
Well, Lawson's there. Again, there's a bunch of All-Americans on this team, former All-Americans. He was a freshman All-American last year, was Lawson. As LSU will move the shift on. No third baseman for LSU at the moment.
The 0-2 pitch going to hit him. Marcos Paz goes with a fastball at 92, catches him on the hip, and boy, he winces in pain, and I can't say that I blame him, but he'll toss off the protective gear and jog his way down to first. So after 1 out, hit the batter. Runner aboard for the Gators, and we'll see Ethan Surowiec, who last night wasted very little time in letting everybody know about his presence. Had the grand slam in the top of that first inning in a frame that saw Florida plate 6 runs. So with a runner at first and 1 down, Paz first delivery. Fastball at 95, but missed low below the knees. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, Surowiec transfer from Ole Miss. Only played in 11 games last year for the Rebels, but went up to the Northwoods League, which is a wooden bat league. Very good wooden bat league up in the Wisconsin area.
Runner goes, breaking ball. Cerna throws, and it's out of the reach of Ruckert. It will make its way into shallow center field. And Florida, opportunistic when it is there. As you said, they got a couple of guys who can really rob you blind on the base paths, but that time a stolen base gets them in. To second base, runner in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the first. A 2-0 count to Surowiec at the plate.
Lawson gets his 12th bag of the year.
Paz will check the runner. Now the 2-0. That one going to be a strike. 96 on the gun for Marcos Paz. Again, a young man who missed all of his senior year, coming off Tommy John surgery. As Jay Johnson has said many times, he wouldn't be wearing an LSU uniform more than likely had he not had to opt for the surgery. So just getting back into probably pitching shape, as this one a fair ball inside the third base bag into the corner. Coming around to score will be Lawson, and sliding in safely into second base is Surowiec with his 12th double of the year and gives him RBI number 52, and Florida takes an early lead 1-0.
Looked like the changeup from Paz, and Surowiec able to keep it down the left field line and continues to stay hot for the Florida Gators. But again, only played in a few games last year, did Surowiec for Ole Miss, and went up to the Northwoods League, that summer ball league, with the wooden bat, hit 20 home runs and was the league MVP up for his summer league team. So a guy that figured it out over the summer.
Yeah, great portal get for Coach O'Sullivan and the Gators. First pitch now to Caden McDonald, another very dangerous hitter, two-way player, batting .358. First pitch missing outside with a breaking ball from Paz, and it's 1-0. So a 1-0 Florida lead. Runner down at second with 1 out. Marcos Paz delivers. And this one way outside is Cerna having to slide all the way to his right. Now Omar a little slow getting up. Hopefully maybe just an awkward step trying to rise off the ground, but he's a little slow moving back there.
I got to believe McDonald will see at some point out of the pen for Florida. As you said, he's DHing tonight.
This pitch up and in, got away from Cerna to the backstop. It'll go, and Surowick will head into third base. Again, not the crisp start LSU would like to see early after giving up those 6 runs in the top of the first last night. So Paul's going to take a long walk back to the mound. 3 balls, no strikes, the count to McDonald. Again, just his 54th plate appearance of the year as our home plate umpire. Call for time here. Little instruction looked like to Marcos on the mound, so they'll reset the pitch clock. He'll get back behind the plate. And now Paz will come set from the belt. A 3-0 count to McDonald. Runner at third now with 1 out. Here's the pitch. That one a strike to make it 3-1 with the take on.
With LSU's infield back, again, all McDonald has to do just make a little contact on the ground in the middle of the infield. He'll score a run.
3-1 delivery outside, missing ball 4. Looping breaking ball, nowhere close, and that'll put McDonald aboard. Now runners on the corners for Florida. We'll see Cash Strayer. Freshman last night, the bottom of the order, went 0 for 2, but also got aboard on 3 walks. That'll bring Nate Yeske out now, the pitching coach for LSU. He's going to sprint out to the mound. Bring in the infield, talk it over with his freshman right-hander. Time now to give you your game day weather report, brought to you by AccuTemp. Chance of power outages never if you get a whole home generator from AccuTemp and keep the power in your hands. Here in Baton Rouge, 83 degrees currently. Clear skies, blue skies, sunshine. Should be that way for most of the night. Some clouds moving in after 10 o'clock, but we should be good with no stoppage in action. Is now our home plate umpire going out there to hurry up the meeting.
Yeah, pause again with that arm injury and missing his senior year. Another guy that you know, I mentioned this a bunch about getting that mound presence, getting out on there in game-like situations, and just getting that experience. It's something that he hasn't had, and he's got to learn to get those reps, and just that's only going to make him better. And sometimes you got to take your lumps, and LSU certainly has with some of their pitchers this year.
Surowick at third, McDonald now at first, and the delivery, a breaking ball, they'll say, missing from Paz. Looked pretty good from our vantage point. That'll make it 1 ball, no strikes to Strayer out of Tampa, Florida. Product of Plant High School. Left-handed batter. Paz going to throw over to first to check on the runner in McDonald.
Yeah, no stolen bases for McDonald at first base. And
Strayer with a 1-0 count. Cerna setting up outside, and the pitch is right there on the outer edge. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers defensively, Braden Simpson getting the start tonight at third. Stephen Milam at short. Jack Ruckert at second. Seth Dardar handling the corner at first. Stanfield, Curiel, and Braun left to right in the outfield. 1 ball, 1 strike to Strayer. Pause again, going to turn and throw. McDonald easily gets back.
Strayer, you mentioned Plant High School, was the 12th ranked outfielder out of the state of Florida. So a good player for Florida, which you wouldn't expect anything less.
1-1. And on the hands, just missing Strayer. Now 2-1.
Yeah, Paul's got to think 1 pitch away, though. I mean, you've got the double play in order. Make a quality pitch. Hopefully you get Strayer to roll over 1, and you can turn something and get out of this inning with just a run scored.
2-1. Fouled back off the bat of the freshman. Now an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Cerna going to readjust and align, make sure the defense is set. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Strayer. Runners on the corners, a 1-0 Florida lead early. 2-2. A slow rolling ground ball to third. Picking it up is Simpson. The throw going to be in time. They'll give up the run for the second out of the inning. Is coming in to score is Surowiec, and it's now a 2-0 Florida lead.
Yeah, ball not hit particularly hard, and Simpson only had one play, get the out at first. I like that he took his time. He knew he had some time, as Strayer was a little late getting out of the box just with the jam shot, and Simpson was able to get him by half a step. But Strayer did do the job, get the run in, and that's what you're looking for with a guy at third base. Again, less than no outs, or less than 2 outs, I should say.
Surowiec in to score. McDonald now down at second. As we'll see Carson Bowen, the catcher, a senior out of Anaheim Hills, California. Bowen last night 0 for 5, but had a run scored. Batting .253 on the year. Pitch to the right-handers just outside with a fastball. Now 2-0.
He's a second-team All Big 12 selection out of TCU and made his way to Florida. Another guy who's had a ton of experience playing college baseball.
2-0 pitch at the knees for a strike. Make it 2-1.
I always think that's a good thing. And, you obviously love freshmen that can play. You love freshman All-Americans, but you really don't want a whole lineup full of freshmen. You want them scattered throughout a lineup with guys that have done it, been there.
2-1 rises high. That'll make it 3-1 now. As we said last night, Florida got a really well put together roster when you take a look at 19 newcomers, 9 of them true freshmen. 3-1 from Pause. Outside corner called strike to fill it up. 3-2 as Marcos went back to the fastball.
I think that's the kicker too, and Jay Johnson will tell you that. I think it's not going too transfer portal happy. It's not going too high school happy. It's getting a nice mix of high school players, freshman players, and going hit the transfer portal as well. 2
outs, runner at second, payoff delivery, inside corner called strike 3. 96 mile an hour worth of heat on the inner black. And Marcos Pause finishes the inning with his first strikeout. However, the Gators, 2 runs, they do it on 1 hit. They leave 1 man on. A half inning in the books here at the box. Florida leading 2-0. LSU coming to the plate for the first time. It'll be Braun, Cerna, and Curiel when we continue. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Base percentage, batting .312 on the year. He'll face a very, very impressive right-hander in Liam Peterson. As we mentioned, Peterson, a freshman Tigers saw back in 2024, but certainly a lot to handle. First pitch, a ground ball bouncer. Going to be handled at second by Curlin. The throw a little behind the bag, but Stripling adjusts and makes the play for out number 1.
Well, Braun not messing around. Took a 96 mile an hour fastball, and that's what you got to do, though. I mean, it was a pitch to be hit for sure, and Curlin almost threw it away, gave LSU a free base runner, but he's going to give you pitches to hit. It's going to catch a lot of the white. Again, it's just going to be extremely hard at 96 to 99 miles an hour. And he'll throw that slider more than Aiden King did last night.
First delivery to Omar Cerna, strike at the knees. 97 on the gun from Peterson, and he starts off the Tiger catcher 0-1. Omar last night 2 for 5. Swing and a miss. He'll quickly make it 0-2.
Yeah, 97 mile an hour fastball to start the at bat, and then a 89 mile an hour slider, just a snapdragon pitch. Cerna wasn't able to connect.
Peterson's 0-2 pitch. Another swing and a miss. The breaking ball just fell off the table. Cerna. Again, kind of a slow walk back to the dugout. Quickly 2 gone. Nobody aboard. Derek Curiel will come to the plate.
Well, Peterson, that's how you make them, too. I mean, you heard Jay Johnson in the pregame talk about you want to play in the big leagues, you got to hit guys like this, and you're going to have to hit guys like this a lot. 6'5", 225 pounds. I mean, right over the top and throwing absolute missiles.
Yeah, that thing coming down on you quickly at 98 plus. And there's the first delivery at 97 for a strike. Curiel. An 0-1 count. Derek will take a little extra time now. Dig back in. The 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. I tell you. Get geared up for that 98-mile-an-hour heater, and then that thing comes at you and just disappears out of the zone. It's 0-2.
Well, it's two good ones. It's a curveball, which that last pitch was. It's a big, that's more of the 12-6, more north to south break, and then you got the slider that he struck Cerna out with on the 89-mile-an-hour.
This one, a spike breaking ball in front of the plate, will make it 1-2.
Yeah, look, nowadays, again, everybody throws 95 plus, it seems like, but I remember, you're in high school, you face a guy that throws upper 80s, maybe even catches a 90. Back in my day, that was a lot. And then, so you remember those times you faced a guy that threw 90, and then when you got to college, it was only a handful, and I'm not that old, not that long ago, that threw the ball 95 plus. David Price comes to mind, pitched for Vanderbilt, and that's just a different look altogether when you see those guys throwing the ball that hard.
The 1-2 is a foul tip, but held on to by Bowen behind the plate. So 3 up, 3 down, including a couple of punch-outs for Liam Peterson. So we played a full inning. It's still a 2-0 Florida lead. Gators coming back to the plate. They'll have 7, 8, 9 in their order. Stripling, Curlin, and Yost. When we return, this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. One and 0. Jacob Hester, our good buddy. Tiger great, throwing out one of the ceremonial first pitches tonight prior to first pitch. Actually clocked him at about 45.6 miles an hour with the heaters. Marcos Paz gets loose, and this one missing high and outside. Now 2-0 the count to Stripling.
You're just relaying the information. You don't want.
No judging.
No judging.
No.
Well, I think it looked like he had his son with him. I'm thinking Junior could have possibly got it to 47 or 48.
Probably. I don't know if they got the time on that one. The 2-0. I want to strike at the letters on the inner half, and it's 2-1 now to Stripling. I do know this, and I sent it to Jacob. I gave him his number. Said it looked a little high out of the zone. I think ABS probably calls it a ball.
You're saying he picked the right sport.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're not going to be fearing you in the batter's box. As here's a swing and a foul ball right side. However, I don't think there's any of these Gators want to meet him at the goal line.
That's right. That's right. Well, he had I remember the Florida game back in 07. That was an iconic game where Jacob Hester
took over.
How many fourth downs did he get, handing the ball to him and just muscling his way to a victory. So he's one I want on my team for sure.
2-2. That one a little high and inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Stripling.
You just think with the high school he came from, Evangel High up in Shreveport. I mean, they tradition-rich football program, but really good baseball program too. Thought maybe that would have
rubbed off
a little bit.
Pitch missing high and outside from Paz with a fastball. That'll put Stripling aboard. Second free pass offered up by Paz by way of walk. That'll put the leadoff man aboard in Stripling, who, by the way, last night went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. So a Stripling down at first base. It'll be Cade Curlin now. Redshirt junior out of Tampa. Batting average at .259. First delivery, the right-hander, smoking ground ball, and it's just under the glove out of the diving outstretched arms of Jack Ruckert. Around second with plenty of speed is Stripling. He'll make his way to third, so now the Gators, with nobody out, have runners on the corners just like that.
Yeah, Curlin, a really scary hitter, only hitting .259 on the year, but mentioned it before, he's got a ton of home runs in his career for Florida, and just a guy that's done it for a number of years. Again, if that name sounds familiar, it's because he's been there for, it seems like, forever. Since 2023, he took a pitch, hit it over 100 miles an hour just now, past the second baseman for LSU, Jack Ruckert.
Hayden Yost, now a left-hander, comes to the plate with runners first and third. Pitch from Paz, high and outside, and it's 1-0. Yost, as we said, called upon early last night what appeared to be an injury to Kyle Jones, who started the game. Yost went 0 for 2, got aboard though on a walk. Came around to score, picked up an RBI. There's a swing and a miss, and it's now 1-1 as he couldn't catch up to the Paz fastball. A 1-1 delivery. Upstairs, eye level, now 2-1.
Yeah, Curlin not a real threat to run. Again, doesn't have a stolen base on the year. 0 for 1 actually down at first base.
Short lead as well. Now he'll fake the steal and swing, and a fly ball to center field off the bat of Yost. Sends Curiel back deep in center field, just shy of the track, and tagging up will be Stripling. He will come in to score, and Florida now leads 3-0.
Yeah, good baseball by the Florida Gators as Yost lifts a ball up to right field, and Curlin at first. You always want to mimic what the third base runner does. He sees Florida third base runner Landon Stripling go back to tag. Curlin goes back to tag at first, and if by some chance Curiel in center field falls asleep or doesn't really get the ball into second base quickly, Curlin can take that extra 90 feet and get to second base with 1 out.
So the leadoff man aboard on a walk, and Stripling coming in to score. Making a 3-0 Florida lead. We'll see Blake Sear atop the order, the right-hander. Awaits first delivery, a called strike on the inside corner with a heat, and it's 0-1. Checking things over to our left here in NCAA regional action. LSU hosting the Baton Rouge Regional, top of the 5th. LSU softball leading Akron 6-0. The 0-1, good pitch, fastball 96, no offer by Sear, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, the fastball's good from Pauls tonight. I mean, you like it at 96 miles an hour. Got to really get a feel for that breaking pitch and see about mixing those in.
0-2, another heater, but high, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But I like pitching with the fastball. Again, we could take a page out of King's book last night and just how he pounded that strike zone, and he was throwing with confidence with that fastball. And again, it's 93, 94. It's not like it's 97 or 8.
Swing on a fastball down and away, and he get a piece, and he fouls it towards his teammates in the third base dugout. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sear flied out to left field to Stanfield. Start the game in the first inning.
Sear, one of the better hitters, and average-wise, he has the best batting average for Florida, 328.
Get a runner at first. Pause. The 1-2 pitch. That one a little elevated. Evens a count, 2-2. Two pitch. This one popped up shallow left. Stanfield coming in, says he's got it, keeps on coming in, and he does for the second out of the inning. That will send Curlin back to first. Now 2 down. Again, you talked about it. Throw strikes. Again, Florida's got talented guys that can put it out of the park, no question about it. But if you throw strikes, you can avoid having runners on, and that's what Paz has been charged with tonight. 1 strikeout, 2 walks so far early on.
But you can't defend a walk. You can't defend a hit by pitch. I mean, even if you throw strikes and a guy hits a missile, and there's a chance it's hit right at somebody. So, I mean, good things happen when you throw the ball over the plate and let him swing. I get, there's certain situations where you want to be a little more careful or not just serve pitches up, and you still want to make quality pitches. But at this point, you gotta challenge hitters and see if they can beat you.
Fastball outside to start off Brendan Lawson, and it's 1-0. Lawson hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Again, Curlin, as Buzzy told you, 0 for 1 in stolen bases. So Paz now trying to focus on Lawson as there's a strike to even it up, 1-1. Paz, the right-hander, turns and fires again over to first, and easily getting back is Curlin. Righty on lefty is Paz from the belt. Here's the 1-1. Nice breaking ball in for a strike. That'll make it 1-2 to get Paz ahead. Lawson, as we mentioned, native of Toronto, Ontario. Baseball America put him on the first-team freshman list a year ago. 1-2 delivery. This one absolutely slapped, and this one headed towards the diamond deck. And Lawson adds to the Florida lead as he gets all of that and then some. That'll be home run number 14 for the Gators shortstop. And that'll make it a 5-0 Florida lead.
Chris, did you see where that ball landed?
No,
I did not. You want to guess how far it went?
I know it went far.
That might be the furthest home run, and by TrackMan standards, it's going to take 496 feet.
Yeah, it was got out of here quickly and got way out of here.
Wow. Yeah, Lawson with his 14th home run of the year. That was as long a home run as I've seen in a long time.
So now with 2 outs, Ethan Surowiec, who had a home run last night, happened to be a grand slam. Had a double with an RBI so far tonight in his first at bat. Gulfport native awaits, pause, delivers. Misses inside for ball 1. Well, you knew he got a lot of it when Mason Braun.
Yeah, nobody moved.
Didn't move.
Nobody moved in the stands. Nobody moved anywhere.
This one launched out to right field. Braun going back, a couple of steps on the track, and he'll have it for out number 3. But the Gators add 3 runs. They do it on 2 hits. They leave nobody on. It's a 5-0 Florida lead. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Kate Arambidi, Stephen Milam, and Seth Dardar coming to the plate for the Tigers. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. 5-0 Florida leading over LSU. And on Friday night's game 2, as Kate Arambidi will start it for the Tigers. Swing and miss at the first offering. Gets behind 0-1 to Liam Peterson. That home run, by the way, 496 feet, 114 miles per hour off the bat from Brendan Lawson. Again, they may be digging through, and again, the technology hasn't been around a long time, but they may be digging back to see how many went nearly 500 feet.
Well, you know, there's been balls hit that, and we do have the technology over the last few years that, I remember balls to left field that you're like, man, that's got to be, that ball's hit 500 feet, and it's 430, 450.
Swing and a miss. Arambidi down on strikes.
But you're right, Chris, to have a ball approaching 500 feet, that was the number. When I looked at it, I thought I was reading it wrong just because it shocked me so much. And I didn't see where it landed. That's how hard and far it was hit, is that I didn't know where it went. So crazy stuff. Just shows the power from Lawson.
Second strikeout on the night for Peterson, or third, I should say. Now we'll see Stephen Milam. Milam batting 5th in the order. First pitch from Peterson, fastball low, ball 1, 1-0. Milam, one of the few bright spots last night. 3 of 5 with a run scored, 3 runs batted in. That average now, Buzzy, don't look, it's 295. Here's the 1-0. Outside, make it 2-0.
You should have took that over, a month ago when he probably would have lost people some money just because, we know the hitter he is, but that average was very low. And during that hitting streak, we both looked at each other and said it multiple times. We bet it's going to be over 300 by the time the season comes to an end.
And it's still alive. That pitch inside. Now 3 balls, no strikes. So Milam more than likely going to take here. Put the onus on Peterson to find the zone. 1 away and a 5-0 Florida lead here in the bottom of the 2nd. 3-0 pitch. Take was on. There's the strike with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. 3-1.
Yeah, Peterson, we know how good he is, how good he's been, but he is hittable, and he can give up runs.
3-1, low and inside, ball 4. So Milam will work a 1-out walk.
In fact, in his last 3 starts, he's given up some runs. Against Texas A&M on April 25th, he gave up 5 earned runs in 5 innings. Oklahoma, he gave up 4 runs in 4 2/3 innings. And in his last start against Kentucky, he gave up 4 runs in 7 2/3. So, it's not like he throws an invisible ball. It's very hard. It's difficult to hit, but he is human.
Seth Dardar stands in. By the way, Milam now extends that reach base streak to 32 straight games. First pitch to Dardar, the left-hander, is off speed and outside for ball 1.
The thing about it, with Peterson as well. Mentioned it with King last night, but Peterson doesn't go over 100 pitches that many times. He threw 112 pitches against Oklahoma a couple weeks ago, but other than that, he stays under that 100 mark.
Breaking ball inside and low. They'll appeal. Dardar did not go around, and now catcher Bowen going to head out, talk it over with Peterson on the mound, bring the infield in with a 2-0 count to Dardar. Runner aboard in Milam with one out here in the bottom of the second inning. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, proud to be LSU's championship health partner. Remember, together we roar. You can learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. Tomorrow, final game of the regular season here at the box will be at 2 o'clock. Two balls, no strikes. Dardar ready to go. Peterson on the bump, the 2-0 pitch. Downhill fastball at 98, but missing. 3-0.
Whenever the scouting report will tell you he does get a little wild at times, and when that happens, you've got to make him throw strikes. I like a take, obviously, here, possibly even 3-1.
Inside corner with a fastball finds the strike zone. 3-1. Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Again, he's been very effective tonight. Not as if he has gone wild by any stretch of the imagination, but you wonder here with a guy who has some pop in Dardar, if you get that groove fastball. And he is swinging. This one launched to left field, and coming over is Blake Sear. He'll make the play. Good run to his left. And there's two gone.
Well, listen, I like the swing away 3-1. Certainly with Dardar, a guy who's got pop, but that's a perfect example of when you get late in the game and you've got guys that are struggling throwing strikes, and maybe even if you're down a little bit, it's never a bad idea to make a pitcher work. And everybody goes, oh, look, he hit it extremely hard. But, hey, that's what happens when you throw strikes. It doesn't all, and somebody puts a good swing on it, doesn't always result in a base hit. That ball was hit right on the nose, but it was right at somebody, and it's an out. So that's why I like a take in the game of baseball.
Chris Stanfield fooled with that slider, couldn't hold back, tried to, and it's 0-1.
You know, a lot of times people say, well, taking shows, that you're passive and you're not ready to hit. Well, I don't want you to have that mindset of taking all the time, but I think it is a good baseball play to utilize in an offensive situation.
Milam down at first with 2 outs and a swing and a miss, and another slider away from the right-handed hitting Chris Stanfield. It's 0-2. So he starts off Stanny with a couple of breaking balls. I got to feel like you got to get your foot down ready to go here.
Well, now you can do it. I mean, you can elevate the fastball. You can go back to the slider out of the zone. You got all your options on the table.
They'll go with the slider. They appeal down to third, and they say Stanny went around. So down on strikes, Stanfield couldn't hold back up. Peterson records strikeout number 4. And that'll do it for the Tigers in the bottom of the second inning. Come away, no runs, no hits. One man left on base. We head to the top of the third. It's a 5-0 Florida lead. Gators coming to the plate when we return. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Caden McDonald back to the plate for a second time tonight. Gators top of the third inning. They lead 5-0 over LSU here in game 2 tonight. McDonald aboard on a walk his first time up. Takes a healthy swing, and looks like Cerna took a little bit of the ball there and came up a little slow, but appears to be all right. And it's 0-1 to McDonald to get him started.
That was Paz's 51st pitch of the evening. That looked like not sure if that was a fastball or not. I believe it was, but just a foul tip into the catcher, Omar Cerna. He's taking a little bit of a beating here early in this game.
0-1 the count. Pause. Breaking ball. Beauty. 0-2.
Pause like Peterson for Florida has 2 different all-speed pitches. He's got the bigger curveball, the slower overhand curveball, and then he's got the sharper slider, more in the upper 80s, even 90-mile-an-hour spot.
Oh, boy. They're pretty good with a fastball there, but they'll rule it 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, when people talk about a good 0-2 pitch, that's what a good 0-2 pitch looks like. A fastball that is, 4 to 6 inches off the plate, but right at the knees.
Comebacker to the mound, right to Pause, and he will make his way over to first, toss it to Dardar. And that'll retire McDonald.
I always say 0-2, you never want to see a hitter get a base hit when you get ahead 0-2, and I agree with that. You don't want to throw a pitch so far out of the zone that a hitter doesn't even think about committing to it. So that last pitch on that 0-2 fastball was a good spot. That's where you got to live, 0-2, and then able to make another pitch 1-2 and get the first out.
Cash Strayer, the left-handed freshman. Tigers will once again shift the defense to the right side with the left-hander at the plate. They will leave Braden Simpson kind of halfway between the shortstop and third base bag.
Yeah, and the only reason he's probably not all the way over playing shortstop, you got to guard against, obviously, if you put everybody on the right side and play Simpson at short, then he could just lay a drag butt down the third base side and get on easily.
Paz loses the grip. That one sails outside. It's 1-1. Strayer drove in a run with a ground out to Simpson. Back in the first inning. Here's the 1-1. And a swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball that dropped down from Paz, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, a few more of the bigger curveballs that Paz is going to in this inning. Taking a little more off, more at the 79, 80 mile an hour mark.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch short of the plate, outside, gets by Cerna, evens it up 2-2.
Now Simpson will move back with 2 strikes. The threat of the bunt's out of the way. Simpson will play more traditional shortstop.
2-2 pitch from Paz. Swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball. Way out in front, and it dropped down towards the shoe tops. Paz will record his second strikeout of the night, second out of the inning. We'll bring Carson Bowen, the catcher, to the plate. Bowen, a strikeout victim to Paz back in that first inning. So now they'll bring Simpson back to third. The right-handed hitter, he'll play near the line. Milam right back there in the 6 hole at shortstop. Here's the first delivery. Slider missing outside, 1-0. The 1-0 delivery to the plate. This time off-speed breaking pitch, a little low and outside, 2-0.
Yeah, with 2 out, gets 2 quick outs or 2 good outs to start the inning. That's where, if I'm Marcos Paz, and really a lot of these LSU pitchers, that's where you want to just attack the zone with 2 outs. Get right in there, make them put a ball in play.
Does there with a 94 mile an hour fastball that finds the inner black. Now 2-1 the count.
Too many times for LSU, I feel like this year is they'll have a good inning going, get a couple good outs, stay ahead of the first hitter, and then they start trying to peck away at the strike zone and get a little too fine where you should just attack with that fastball.
2-1. He does there at 95. A swing and a miss will leave it up 2-2. Two outs, nobody on for the Gators here. They lead 5-0. 2-2 pitch from Paz. Bouncer towards third. Simpson charging in. Glove side handles it, pumps and throws over to Dardar in time for out number 3. So Marcos Paz and the Tigers force the Gators into their first 0 up on the board. Come away no runs, no hits, and nobody on base. We go to the bottom of the third. It's a 5-0 Florida lead. Ruckert, Simpson, and Braun, top of the order, due up when we continue. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Florida with 5 runs on 3 hits. They lead the Tigers 5-0. Bottom of the third, Jack Ruckert, Tigers second baseman, a true freshman. Going to lead things off, facing Liam Peterson, who, much like Aiden King, at least early on, as advertised, Peterson so far through 2 frames, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. First pitch to Ruckert inside for ball 1, 1-0. Tigers not quite through. 1 trip through the lineup against Peterson. There's the 1-0 pitch upstairs and inside for ball 2.
Well, Jack Ruckert, the freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, played his high school ball at Catholic High. And Catholic High, the Bears, are actually playing in the state championship right now in Sulphur, Louisiana.
2-0 delivery is outside. That'll make it 3 balls, no strikes.
Catholic beat Brother Martin in the first of a 3-game series last night, and the game 2 is tonight at 5:30, so we'll get an update on that.
Showing bunt, but bringing it back on the 3-0 delivery. That time Peterson finds the strike zone with the heat, and it's 3-1.
Yes, a situation like this, I mean, again, Peterson's a great pitcher. You don't want to let him get ahead of you, but 3-1, I may take a pitch.
There's a strike. Record couldn't quite go fully on the swing. That'll make it a full count now, 3-2.
Down in the lineup, Ruckert, got a nice player, good player. Hadn't seen a whole lot of guys like Peterson probably in his lifetime. And you take a pitch 3-1, now you make him work, see if he can come back, throw another strike.
3-2 delivery, a base hit, line drive into right field. 97-mile-an-hour fastball caught a lot of the plate, Buzzy, and Ruckert, as you said, ready to go. Foot down, got the swing on it, good level plane, and he sends it into right.
Well, and I'm not sure if he had the 3-1 take, but if he did, he stayed right on it the whole way. He didn't just take it nonchalantly. He looked at it the whole way like he wanted to hit, saw it well, and then was ready for the next pitch at 97 miles an hour, was down in the zone. I mean, it was a heck of a 3-2 pitch from Peterson. Jack Ruckert, the freshman, doing a great job. I've really liked what I've seen from that kid since he's been inserted into the lineup.
Ruckert breaks up Peterson's no-no. First bingo pest product hit of the night for the Tigers. That'll bring Braden Simpson to the plate for the first time at the bottom of the order. First pitch missing a little upstairs, 1-0. Simpson, as we mentioned last night, a little more action at the start of the season. This is his 38th plate appearance. He's batting .243. He will swing. This one skied into the air. Looks like Yost lost it momentarily. He came in, now backpedaling and able to recover and make the play a little deeper than he thought he would. For the first out of the inning, as Yost and Strayer have a quick conversation out there. But credit Yost, immediately once it got up in the air, he was trying to let Cash know, I don't see it, but he was able to stay with it, get back there in time to make the play. That gets over his head. All kinds of trouble.
Yeah, that'll put a lump in your throat if your coach O'Sullivan down there in the Florida bullpen said, please find the baseball and get to it. And Yost did. He didn't give up on it. Nice job by the center fielder.
Mason Braun now atop the order. He's 0 for 1 on the night. Ground ball out to the second baseman Curlin to start the Tigers offense. First pitch a strike, off speed, and it's 0-1. Braun's another young player that's so heady in the game of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Interested to see how he will handle this type of opportunity against a pitcher like Peterson as the game goes on. Stays away from that pitch that dropped low, and it's 1-1.
Well, yeah, a guy that, since he's been inserted into the lineup, just good at bat after good at bat. And we always talk about the quality at bats. He gives you a quality at bat a lot of times, more than 50% of the time, which is what you're looking for.
1-1, late coming around. That fastball gets by him. It's 1-2.
I always talk about how, baseball is such a negative sport. If you hit in 10 at bats, if you get 3 hits, you're doing great. Well, that means 7 times you failed. And so when you talk about quality at bats, that's a better way to judge how you're doing at the plate. It doesn't always have to be a hit.
The 1-2 shot down the line, foul and left. Keeps the count 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mason Braun.
I think it just keeps you in a more positive mindset. You obviously with TrackMan you can see how hard you hit balls now, so that's always a good indicator of a quality at bat. Is did you hit the ball on the nose, and did you hit it a certain miles an hour off the bat? Did you get a guy over? Did you get hit by a pitch or walk? There's a lot of different ways you can get a quality at bat.
The 1-2, beautiful pitch by Peterson, inside corner with the heat. Braun down on strikes for the first time tonight. That'll be strikeout number 5 for the Florida starter, and there's 2 gone here in the bottom of the third, and that'll bring Omar Cerna to the plate. Still with a runner aboard, down 5-0.
Well, one way you don't get a quality at bat is taking strike 3. I will tell you, Braun, that was a pitch probably too close to take with 2 strikes, but 97, 8 miles an hour. It was down at the knees. That's a tough pitch to hit. I understand why Braun took it, but just a tough one to take with 2 strikes.
First pitch to Cerna above the letters for ball 1. Omar tonight a strikeout victim. Now we got Kevin O'Sullivan, head coach of the Gators, calling for time, coming out of the dugout. So he'll walk out here and visit with Peterson and the rest of the Gator infield. Fans, join MMR, the largest privately owned open shop electrical and instrumentation contractor in the nation, proud partner of LSU Athletics. Get you a quick score update from just to our left at Tiger Park. Again, the Tigers were leading early in that one against Akron. The Baton Rouge Regional, LSU softball hosting Virginia Tech, Akron, and South Alabama. Now 7-0, bottom of the 6th inning. LSU with the lead in NCAA softball regional action. So the meeting all wrapped up with O'Sullivan. He'll head back to the dugout. So after a 1-0 delivery to Cerna, quick little chat. Now Omar back in, ready to go. A 1-0 pitch. Sent back foul off the bat, in on the hands with a fastball. It's 1-1.
Well, a lot to be impressed with by Peterson. Again, he's got the makeup. I mean, 6'5", 225 pounds. What I've been impressed with, though, the fastball's electric, but it's down in the zone, too. He doesn't really live up in the zone a whole lot. It's down at the knees.
1-1. That one a little bit up at the belt. Catches the outer edge. It's 1-2.
Yeah, 98, and then, oh, by the way, I can throw the 90-mile-an-hour slider just when you think you're looking for a fastball. We'll break that off.
1-2 delivery, ground ball. Lawson had to go to a knee, but comes up with it, flips it over to Curlin at second. They'll get the runner for out number 3. So the Tigers done. Here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Again, no runs, 1 hit. 1 man left on. We head to the top of the 4th. It is a 5-0 Gator lead. They come to the plate. 5 runs on 3 hits. 2 runs in the top of the 1st. 3 more in the top of the 2nd. Marcos Paz trying to put up another 0 here in the top of the 4th. It'll be Stripling in the first pitch, inside and low. Made Stripling dance around it as it got all the way to the backstop. And it's 1 ball, no strike. Stripling tonight aboard on a walk. His first time up in the 2nd frame. Pause set to deliver. Pitch number 66 on its way, and it misses high and outside. 2-0.
Yeah, if you're LSU, would love Pause to obviously throw a hoop up in this top of the 4th and possibly even get you an out or 2 in the 5th. That would be a okay outing, all things considered.
Another one upstairs. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Pause, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks so far. The 3-0 delivery catches the outside corner. 3-1. Pause winds the 3-1 pitch. That one going to miss low below the knees. Be the 3rd walk given up by the Tigers starter, and the leadoff man Stripling aboard for the Gators. In that top of the 2nd inning, leadoff man aboard on a walk, came around to score 1 of those 3 runs, as they tend to do.
Yeah, that's kind of the norm anywhere, not just here. But you put that leadoff guy on, he's going to score more times than not.
Cade Curlin now to the plate. He's 1 for 1, had a single. Pause, pitch to the right-hander, missing low again. 1-0.
Curlin's a guy that just scary at bat. Again, he's a free swinger, and he's got so much pop in that bat that just feel like if he times it up and guesses right, he's going to hit a ball hard somewhere.
There's one on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ethan Plog up and just soft tossing down in the Tiger bullpen. This will be pitch number 72, and Curlin loads up, swings hard, but he fouls it out of play right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
With that leadoff walk to Stripling, I figured we'd get some action down in LSU's bullpen.
Pause ahead in the count, looking for the out pitch here. The 1-2 to the plate, down in the dirt, blocked up by Cerna. Curlin not buying. It's now an even count, 2-2.
Yeah, a little bit too much. Kind of overspun that one, did Pause. That was kind of choked it a hair too much, and that was over in the left-hander's batter's box. Got to be more of a competitive pitch that's looks like a strike for a little bit longer to get these Florida Gators to chase. As that one was what you call the non-ball, just non-competitive.
2-2, breaking ball, swung on but fouled down the third base line. We're holding the count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Stop by tonight, order online, or just use the app. It's Walk On Sports Bistro. Game on. Two balls, 2 strikes to Cade Curlin. Nobody out. Top of the 4th, runner aboard for the Gators at first. Pause, 2-2. Missing outside. That'll fill the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's the pitch you want to throw 0-2 or 1-2. That's the spot that I talk about all the time when you get to 2 strikes. Now 2-2, that's a heck of a take by Curlin. Now it's, you know, a full count. Now you've got to come to him, throw a strike, but that's a heck of a pitch if it's an 0-2, 1-2 count right off the plate.
Payoff delivery, called strike 3 on the outer half. Curlin kind of gave up on the pitch and then realized once it hit the mitt he'd missed an opportunity, and Paz will take the strikeout. That's his 3rd of the night, just the 1st out of the inning.
Yeah, that's that 50-50 ball. You know, you hit and you obviously don't feel like you can do much with it. When you're pitching, you love to get that call. And credit Cerna going down that new catching style where you work underneath the baseball, and maybe stole one right there for the LSU Tigers.
There's a toss over by Paz to keep an eye on Stripling, who again, as we told you earlier, has not attempted a stolen base on the year. Hayden Yost to the plate. A sac fly RBI in the 2nd inning. RBI number 15 for the junior out of Tampa. Pitch to the plate. This one lifted in the air. Stanfield goes back a few steps now, comes running forward, settles under it. He'll have it for the 2nd out of the inning. Yost retired, now to the top of the order. Blake Sear coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight in that leadoff spot.
Yeah, another spot with 2 outs where you really got to bear down if you're Marcos Paz, best hitter average-wise on LSU's or on Florida's team.
Stripling takes his lead at first with 2 down. Paz comes set, he fires, and it's a ground ball. It's going to be handled by Simpson, but in foul territory. It'll be 0-1.
Should say Sear has the best average of really the everyday starters. Technically, McDonald hitting .352 for Florida. Doesn't have the at-bats, near the at-bats that Blake Sear does, as McDonald only with 53 at-bats coming into tonight's game.
Runner at first, 2 down, an 0-1 count to the Florida left fielder. His Paz glances at the runner. Now the 0-1 pitch. That one at the knees across the heart of the plate, and it's 0-2.
It's where you want that good slider on the outside part of the plate. He's thrown a couple good ones tonight that have worked, looked like a strike for a long time. This is where you'd like to see it.
Runner at first, 2 down, and the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, he went with the fastball. Yep. Elevated, not buying again with Seared. It's 1-2.
Ball up in the zone. Out of the up and out of the zone. If you're going to throw it up, I like it more in the zone, but at the letters, and try to get the hitter to offer at it.
Another throw over after Stripling got a little bit more of a lead off of first. He's back safely. LSU will have the meat of their order due up. Curiel, Aaron Beatty, and Milam. First things first. That pitch, they'll say, missed low. That'll even the count 2-2. Cerna looked shocked. Tiger dugout looks surprised.
Yeah, they're borderline, and you know, they home plate umpire struck Curlin out on a similar pitch, and I do think they're down. It's good pitches, but just a hair down.
2-2. Another swing, another foul ball. It'll keep it 2-2 as Marcos delivered a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Sear fights it off. Talked about the importance last night for Florida. Again, certainly going to host an NCAA regional. They'd love to be a national seed. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and he chased one low. And That'll be a strikeout. Cerna didn't have to tag. Marcos Paz finds the out pitch. That'll be strikeout number 4 of the night. And again, for a second straight frame, Marcos Paz hangs a 0. They still trail 5-0. Again, the meat of the order presented by 44 Farms coming up for the Tigers. Curiel, Arambidi, and Milam when we come back on the LSU Sports Radio Network. So far through 3 innings of work, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. LSU's offense trying to solve the riddle that is Liam Peterson. First pitch to Derek, inside corner, called strike with a fastball, and it's 0-1. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana proud to be the official health insurance of LSU Athletics. Louisiana Blue, live Louisiana, we've got you. Curiel, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Here's the 0-1. Off the end of the bat, but foul into the screen, third base side, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Peterson's been impressive. A lot to like about this young man. Heard a lot about him. I mean, you don't just be the Friday night starter last year. Again, was the Friday night starter all of this year up until about a month ago before King kind of took over that job.
The 0-2 high chop coming in will be Surwick. The throw in time to beat Curiel, who was speeding down the line. He's asking for a challenge. Not sure if LSU will oblige. Again, that time Surwick had to wait forever for it to come down. Then had to unload Buzzy very quickly.
Well, that internal time clock that we talk about with good infielders, Milam is as good as anybody. Surwick over at third base knew he had to wait for the ball to come down. Couldn't Inspector Gadget arm it out and get it, very high. Had to wait till it comes down, and knew he had to make a quick throw to first base to get Curiel.
Arambidi now to the plate. He's also a strikeout victim his first time up. First pitch upstairs, ball 1, 1-0. Peterson's 1-0 delivery. Swing and a miss. A nasty breaking ball, 1-1.
Yeah, that's gross. I mean, that is borderline unfair. 86-mile-an-hour slider when you're looking 98-mile-an-hour heater.
Here's the 1-1. Arambidi swings and fouls this one out of play. Falls behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arambidi, a .324 average. Mentioned it with the injury and loss of Jake Brown for the season. Now leads the Tigers with 16 home runs, 47 runs batted in. Nobody aboard, 1 out. Here's the 1-2 to Arambidi. Missed away and low, 2-2.
He has definitely had a nice sophomore season this year. Guy that they wanted and knew needed to take the jump from his freshman year. Knew the talent that this young man had, and the power showed.
Another pitch just missing off the outside corner, a little low, and that'll fill the count now to Arambidi. Payoff pitch and a swing and a miss. There's that nasty breaking ball that just disappears.
Yeah,
off the radar.
It's like I said, borderline unfair. 3-2, and you got a guy throwing as hard as Peterson throws, and that was going to be a borderline strike if Bowen behind the plate was probably going to frame it nicely. So I don't blame Arambidi for taking a hack at it, but it looks like a strike the whole way, and it just darts out of the zone. And again, throwing that slider, with not that long ago, a lot of people threw their fastball out, which is crazy to think about. 6
strikeouts on the night for Peterson. He's given up just 1 hit tonight to the Tigers. Milam, though, aboard on a walk, stands in. First pitch missing, 1-0.
That was actually one of the changeups from Peterson. We hadn't seen that one much. He'll work that one into left-handers on occasion.
1-0 delivery. Called strike, 1-1.
Like most right-handers, you'll see the slider, which is that harder pitch, breaking more left to right. He'll throw that more to right-handers, and he'll work the changeup and more the curveball on into left-handers.
A 1-1 lifted in the air to right field. Going back is Strayer to the wall, makes a leap, and it's gone. Stephen Milam goes yard to right into the diamond tag. Home run number 9 for the Monster, and the Tigers are on the board. It's 5-1.
Yeah, it looked like Peterson went back to the changeup. He showed it to him early in the at bat, and that's a blessing sometimes when you got a guy throwing so hard to speed the bat up for the hitter. Milam just able to get it over the right field fence, 357 feet, and LSU gets on that on the board. Yeah, just out in front of it, but Milam seeing the ball so well that bat stays in the zone for a long time. Just gets it over that yellow line, the yellow line on the fence for LSU's first run. So maybe this will get them going a little bit.
Milam with a home run last night. That's the crowd kind of back into it here. A 2-out strike and a blast to right field. Dardar will swing and miss, and it's 0-1 on that off speed. Pulled the string, did Peterson.
Don't look now, Chris. Milam at 299 on the year.
Yeah. The 0-1 to Dardar. Another swing and a miss. Again, a couple of off-speed pitches and gets Peterson ahead, 0-2. Seth flied out to Blake Sear out in left field. His first time up in the second inning with 2 strikes. Shift the infield, 3 infielders to the right of second base to the left-hander. The 0-2 pitch off the end of the bat, but hit right at the lone infielder left side. It'll be Lawson. He'll throw across in time for out number 3. The Tigers, though, get a run. They do it on a hit. It was a home run over the fence and right off the bat of Stephen Milam, his 9th of the year. So 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left on. We go to the top of the 5th. Florida leading 5-1. They come to the plate next. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. The Tigers now will again shift the infield to the left-handed hitter. He showed bunt. Simpson playing shaded towards second base, the Tiger third baseman. See if Lawson just wanted to make him think about it.
Let him know, hey, guys, I can do this too. You might want to move over just a few, but they might be happy. Hey, if you want to bunt, go ahead. At least it's in the ballpark.
2-0 pitch from Pause. Look out, almost caught him on the cleat, low and inside the left-handed hitter. It's now 3-0 just like that.
Yeah, I don't claim to have the best eyes in the world, Chris. Okay, I mean, I wear contacts. I can see some things. For me, I didn't see the home run that he hit, where it just disappeared over the Intimidator.
Pitch missing low. Now Lawson aboard on a walk. He'll reach base for the 3rd time tonight. He was hit by a pitch in the first, had the long distance home run in the second, and now here to start the top of the 5th. He's aboard on a base on ball. So with Lawson aboard, Surowick now expected coming to the plate. Looks back to Coach O'Sullivan, gets his orders and stands in. But before that, Nate Yeskie going to sprint out to the mound.
Yeah, Nate Yeskie going to go have a little conversation. Not for any, it's not to stall. Ethan Plaug's been throwing since last inning. So Plaug, I would think, is ready, seeing they want to make a move, but not going to be the move here, as Jay Johnson usually makes that call. But Nate Yeskie doing a little coaching. Again, Marcos Paul's, sometimes we forget these kids are freshmen, and you mentioned the arm injury that had him miss his complete senior year in high school. And so this is every bit a coaching moment for this coaching staff for these young players as well.
So the meeting all broken up. Ethan Surowick to the plate. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's had a really good weekend overall. Runner at first, and the delivery is down in the dirt. Cerna doing a good job keeping it in front of him, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Lawson, of course, the speedster, 13 of 15 in stolen bases on the year. So probably was also a quick talk by Coach Yeskie about be mindful of who's behind you over at first. The right-hander comes set, the 1-0. Way outside, now 2 balls, no strikes.
No, you're right, Chris. It's you go out there, you got to remind the young players a lot of times, this guy, they don't run a lot, but this is the one guy in the lineup that will maybe mix in a slide step, mix in your looks, mix in your hold times.
2-0 pitch to the plate. Again, outside with the heat. Now 3 balls, no strikes.
Quickly, while we got a little time, give you an SEC scoreboard update presented by Republic Finance. Visit Republic Finance for all your personal loan needs. Get started at republicfinance.com/Tigers.
3 balls, no strikes to Surowick, and the pitch. That one does find the inside corner. Surowick taking all the way, now 3-1.
Bottom of the 6th in Lexington. Arkansas trying to even the series with Kentucky. They lead 3-2. Bottom of the 6th in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss is blanking Alabama 5-0. They're trying to even that series as Alabama won the first game last night.
3-1, rocketed to center field. Curiel on his horse going back, and this one is off the batter's eye. Surowick, home run number 10, joins the double-digit home run club for the Gators. Rounds the bases and adds 2 more to the board. That'll make it 7-1 Florida.
Yeah, another ball hit extremely hard. Another ball hit extremely far, 429 feet from Surowick, and that kid has been a thorn in the side in these first 2 games for LSU. Just stays back on it. I mean, when you hit a ball out to dead center field, doesn't matter what ballpark, doesn't matter what wind, that is a long way, and that is an impressive thing to do.
Caden McDonald comes to the plate with the bases empty and nobody out in the top half of the 5th inning. Pause, fires up and inside for ball 1. McDonald tonight 0 for 1, aboard on a walk in the 1st. Come back to the mound on a ground ball in the 3rd. Pause, the 1-0. Fouled off the bat and off the leg of McDonald. It's 1-1.
Yep, Florida Gators, man, they've been impressive. Been very impressed with their pitching stats. Hard to think. That just goes to show you how good the SEC is how this team would even struggle at all this year with the way they throw the baseball and the first 2 starting pitchers. We saw their guys out of the bullpen yesterday, and then the home run potential and the home run power they have.
Breaking ball just missed inside. Now 2 balls, 1 strike to count to McDonald.
Yeah, he came into the game. I mean, 74 home runs total as a team. That's obviously will be a couple more tonight. 76 on the year.
2-1 pitch fouled out of play right side. That'll even the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Buzzy, your point, one of the things that stands out about this team is Florida has been an excellent road team all season long. It doesn't seem to bother them whatsoever. As we mentioned last night, the only SEC team to go into Athens and win a series against the Georgia Bulldogs. 2-2, jammed him, but it's popped up foul back behind us and out of play. But, they've played a lot of top-ranked teams in conference, obviously, and out of conference. They got sweeps of Florida State. 2 games they swept over Miami. Again, they got 3 upsets against top 15 SEC teams. Oklahoma, Georgia, as I mentioned, swept Arkansas and Fayetteville.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, look, getting away out of your home ballpark, getting out of your hometown, sometimes that helps.
Lazy swing on a breaking ball. Strike 3. Cerno will have to throw down to second, and he does, and that's the first out of the inning. Here in the top of the 5th, down on strikes is McDonald. That'll be strikeout number 5 for Marcos Paz, but that may be all as Jay Johnson now, after recording the first out, on his way out to the mound, and we could expect to see Ethan Plog take over. Yeah, you hear coaches a lot of times say even when a team maybe is going through a rough spell, they actually prefer to go out on the road and don't even mind if it's 2 weeks in a row, and sometimes that'll get them right. Not that Florida had any long stretches, but they certainly have had no problem going on the road and performing well.
Well, and I'll talk a little bit more about kind of the experience I had back in my playing days of us going on the road on some tough years and figuring out ways to win. It'll kind of correlate to what maybe Florida had to do this year.
Ethan Plog makes his way out of the bullpen down and right. A pitching change for the Tigers powered by Sunshine. If you need a game-changing upgrade, trust Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll give you Ethan's numbers. 1 out, top of the 5th. Florida leading 7-1. When we come back, this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Ethan Plog called upon out of the bullpen for the Tigers. The left-hander will take over. LSU trailing Florida 7-1 here in the top of the 5th inning with 1 away. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
This is LSU Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network and the LSU Sports mobile app.
Brian Haldane back in the Capital One studio on the ones and twos tonight. Buzzy Heidel, Tiger champion. Chris Blair with you here in the booth at Alec Box Stadium. Florida again got out to an early lead. Not big as they did last night. 2 runs in the top of the first. They just kept adding on. 3 in the second, now 2 so far here in the fifth. They lead 7-1 as Cash Strayer will face Ethan Plog with nobody aboard and 1 out. First pitch inside missing. 1-0 pitch up and in, missing for ball 2 quickly. 2-0 the count to Strayer, who tonight drove in a run with a ground out to Simpson at third back in the first, and he was a strikeout victim to Marcos Paz back in the third inning. Here's the 2-0. Low and inside, 3-0.
Ethan Plog making his 20th appearance of the year. He's 2-0 in 14 innings pitched. He's given up 17 hits, 17 runs, 16 walks, and 19 strikeouts. From the left side, Plog will be 92 to 95 at the fastball. He's got a 3/4, almost even a sidearm angle.
That time finds the zone at the belt of the fastball, and it's 3-1. Lefty on lefty, and a swing and a ground ball that dances down the line at first, but they're going to say it was foul. Even though Dardar was able to field it, so home plate umpire quickly out there to rule it foul. That'll fill the count, 3-2.
Yeah, continuing on that, playing better on the road. I remember so last time LSU didn't make the NCAA tournament, which was 2011. Before that, it was 2007, my sophomore year, and we struggled that year. But I remember going on the road. It's like we got more comfortable on the road.
Right down the middle, called strike 3. No offer with Strayer, and wasn't looking for that pitch. Fastball right at the thighs across the plate, 2 gone.
And I remember we went to a ranked Mississippi State in Starkville team, won 2 out of 3. We went to Arkansas, won 2 out of 3. We won 2 out of 3 at Ole Miss at home, so that wasn't on the road, but it was a good team. And then we won 2 of 3 against Alabama, who was ranked out of that time in Tuscaloosa.
First pitch to Carson Bowen.
Yeah, it was almost like we were happy to get out of Baton Rouge. We had struggled really the whole year, and kind of like you stopped reading the press clippings. You got out of town and was able just to become a team and be really one with each other. And it just seemed like we played so much better on the road that year. So, yeah, Florida, again, not struggling that bad, but playing well on the road. They certainly are not intimidated.
First pitch missing to Bowen. This one a strike to even it up, 1-1. Bowen tonight a strikeout in the first. Grounded out to Simpson at third. Back in the third. Nobody on, 2 outs, the 1-1. A little too low, maybe a tad outside with that heat offering from Plog, now 2-1.
Yeah, not sure where we left up on the Republic Finance scoreboard update, but again, bottom of the 6th in Tuscaloosa. Ole Miss is leading Alabama 5-0. They're trying to even that series.
2-1 pitch. Going to be lifted foul and out of play right side. That'll even the count 2-2.
Bottom of the 6th in Nashville. Vanderbilt looking to win the series against South Carolina. They're leading 7-3 against the Gamecocks. Bottom of the 5th in College Station. Texas A&M is leading Mississippi State 8-7. A&M looking to even that series at 1 apiece. Going to the 6th inning in Oklahoma City. Tennessee leading Oklahoma 5-3.
Another fastball, this time at 96 from the left-hander, but it's outside, missing. That'll fill the count now to Bowen, 3-2.
Texas looking to win the first 2 games of their series against Missouri and Austin. They are blanking the Tigers 10-0. And then going to the 4th inning in Auburn, Georgia is leading the Auburn Tigers 5-2.
Swing and a miss. He got him to chase a fastball well outside, and Plog records his 2nd strikeout out of the bullpen. However, Florida adds 2 more on the board. Do it on 1 big hit. We head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tigers coming to the plate. Chris Stanfield, Ruckert, and Simpson, 7, 8, and 9. 7-1, Florida leading. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Control as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. They lead LSU 7-1. Chris Stanfield, Tiger left fielder, will get it started. 7, 8, 9, 2 up. Stanny tonight 0 for 1, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning, facing Liam Peterson for the 2nd time on the night. The 0-1 ground ball. Slow bouncer going to be picked up at third by Surowek, and the throw over to first in time. Beats out the speedy Stanfield and quickly 1 away. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Toyota Summer Starts Here sales event, fans, again, is coming up. Start your summer right in an exciting new Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer at toyota.com today. Jack Ruckert coming to the plate. Record 1 for 1. Down there in the 8th spot. Single back in the 3rd inning. His first time at the plate. First pitch. Fastball inside corner, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Peterson's next pitch of the evening will be his 60th. LSU has a right-hander down in their bullpen. It's actually Kason Evans. I think he's probably just getting a little work in.
May see him tonight. Again, there was kind of a mixed message last night after the game. Verified earlier today. They said, you know, there's a chance Kason will see the mound. It'll be on a very strict pitch count, but that was the plan. Well, this one, Rucker jumps on but fouls it down the right field line. Jay Johnson quoted last night after the game, paraphrasing, of course, something to the effect that we come into the final weekend and we don't have our game 1 and game 2 starter ready to go. But I don't think he meant not pitch this weekend. Because on Wednesday, he told all of us in the media session that we would see Kason Evans, just didn't know when. But we'll find out. Ruckert stays away. Good take. Oh, my. They appeal down to 3rd. They say he went around. Ruckert a little surprised. Bowen dropped the baseball, so he'll have to throw down to 1st. Josh Jordan, 3rd base coach for LSU, going over saying, are you sure about that? What did you see? Again, we'll get a look at it here. And, it's awfully close. Yeah, maybe a little too far. Nonetheless, Peterson with another strikeout. So I think a little surprising last night. A lot of people thought Evans wouldn't pitch this weekend, but that's been the plan. We'll see if that comes to fruition.
Well, and he actually got up last night, and I don't know that he actually threw a whole lot, catcher down and throwing from the rubber, but he was getting loose and just throwing a little bit last night.
First pitch after Simpson showed bunt outside. He brought it back. It's 1-0. Now Jay Johnson, after 2 very quick outs recorded by Peterson, will call one of the offensive timeouts, bring Simpson over, who, by the way, is 0 for 1, a fly ball out to center field. Talk it over with Braden and Mason Braun, who stands on deck. Again, Peterson's numbers tonight, 4 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, solo shot off the bat of Milam, so an earned run. 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. 1 run on 2 hits tonight for this Tiger offense thus far.
Yeah, he's been as advertised, as was King last night. I mean, again, that is 2 frontline starting pitchers that can beat anybody in the country. And I've been very impressed with that part of Florida's team, the pitching staff.
So we'll see what Simpson looked to be swinging away on this delivery, and that's a strike at the knees. Still firm at 98 miles per hour. And again, with the height, big body that Peterson has, that thing coming down on you not only near 100 miles an hour, but just that trajectory alone. And there's a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Simpson with 2 down and nobody on. Pitch from Peterson. Missing low. Simpson stays back. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Simpson at a High Point. Played his last 3 years there at High Point before transferring here to LSU. Had a bunch of homers there, 37 home runs.
Did he go? They appeal again. They say he couldn't hold back on a pitch outside, and Peterson records strikeout number 8. And that'll do it for the Tigers quickly here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody touches base. We go to the top of the 6th, Florida leading 7-1. Gators will send to the plate Stripling, Curlin, and Yost. 7, 8, 9 in their order when we come back. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.
Fastball's got the fastball, overhand curveball, more 80 to 84. He'll throw that slider and a changeup.
Landon Stripling stands in. The first pitch to the left-hander is a strike with a fastball at 95. Yeah, Kason went an inning and 2/3 against the Georgia Bulldogs in his return. Gave up 4 hits, 4 runs to the Bulldogs. That pitch finding the zone off speed. Now quickly 0-2. The count to Stripling, who's been aboard twice by way of walk. 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th. Evans delivers, and a little slow bouncer foul. First base side will keep it 0-2.
The thing about Evans, he typically works fast, gets the ball ready to work.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball towards first. Dardar gloves it, and he'll win the race to first base for out number 1. Stripling retired for the first time tonight.
Yeah, you'd like to see Evans again. I'd love to see him go a couple innings. If he can have a quick inning here, you know he's going to be on that strict pitch count, as you said, Chris, but he can have a quick one here. Maybe we'll get another inning out of him.
Yeah, again, LSU having to push all their chips in next week in Hoover in a daunting task in the SEC tournament. So we'll see how much Evans is utilized tonight. Another strong fastball on the outer edge. Nice pitch. It's 0-1. Standing in, Cade Curlin, who's 1 for 2, had a single to center field in the second inning. This pitch, another strike at the knees with a fastball. And just like the batter before, it's quickly 0-2. Curlin readies the bat. The 0-2 pitch. High in the air to left field. Stanfield going back to the track. And with room right in front of the wall, makes the grab for out number 2.
Actually, not the 0-2 pitch that Evans wanted. Hung a off-speed pitch, caught a lot of the plate. Curlin's not the guy you want to do that as. Again, he swings the bat really well, and he's a aggressive swinger. I mean, he's looking to drop, drive, and lift the baseball, and he lifted it. He just didn't get it up high enough to left field, or far enough to left field, I should say. It was high enough, just not far enough.
Yeah, again, we talk about pitchers on the mound with max effort. That's what you get from Curlin every time he swings the bat. Hayden Yost now coming to the plate. First delivery off speed and low for ball 1. York tonight, or Yost, I should say, a sac fly RBI in the second. Flied out to Stanfield and left last time in the fourth. Evans 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string with a changeup. 1-1. The 1-1 delivery. Off speed but low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Remember, fans, SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets. So whether you're buying or selling tickets, count on SeatGeek, the place to do it. Official ticket marketplace of LSU athletics. With 2 outs, the 2-1 pitch goes back to the heat. Misses outside. 3-1. Three-one delivery. That one inside corner. Comes back again with the fastball. Now 3-2. The count to Hayden Yost.
The Jaden Newt starting to play a little catch down in LSU's bullpen.
Payoff delivery. Fouled off. Spoils the fastball, does Yost. Still 3-2 the count.
Yeah, go right after Yost. Sitting there in that 9 hole. Don't want to get it to Sear at the top of the lineup. Challenge him with the fastball.
3-2 is a breaking ball, and it gets away from Cerna. Down to first going will be Yost, who reaches base for the first time tonight with 2 outs, a runner aboard. And it will bring Blake Sear, top of the order, to the plate.
Yeah, went with the off-speed pitch, and Yost was able just to spit on it down in the dirt, and he busting it down the line. Says, hey, maybe checking on Cerna Jr. back there, making sure he's on, on top of his game, making sure he's getting to the baseball quickly.
First pitch to Sear again, off speed, out in front swinging, and it's 0-1. Sear atop the order tonight, 0 for 3. The 0-1 pitch. This one a fastball away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Evans 1-1 pitch. That one a strike on the inside corner at the knees. That'll get Kaysen ahead 1-2.
Yeah, Evans will try to sink those fastballs in there too. He'll 93 to 97. He'll also 2-seam or throw that sinker that works down into right-handed hitters.
2 outs, runner at first. And first Evans going to throw over. Check on the runner in Yost, who's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Righty on righty. Cerna setting up somewhat outside to Blake Sear. Runner goes, but a swing and a miss. And Kaysen Evans coming in out of the bullpen, gets a strikeout, throws up another 0 on the board. Florida here in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits. One man left on. We now move to the bottom of the 6th. Tigers down 7-1 to the Florida Gators. It'll be top of the order for LSU. Braun, Cerna, and Curiel. After this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Well, the Tigers got a little bit of a boost there with Kason Evans taking over on the mound. Hold the Gators off the scoreboard for just the 3rd inning of the night thus far. Bottom of the 6th inning, Mason Braun will lead it off. Mason 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch from Liam Peterson is a fastball strike, and it's 0-1. Braun grounded out his first at bat. Kurland at second base, strikeout victim to Peterson, 1 of 8 on the night. There's a strike to make it 0-2.
Well, we told you probably see Caden McDonald, who's the DH for Florida, at some point come out of the bullpen. That's him getting loose down in the Florida bullpen.
0-2 the count to Braun. Pitch from Peterson away upstairs, 1-2. A 1-2 delivery from Peterson. Fastball up to 97, but missed inside at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch in the air to left field. Coming in, Blake Sear now on the run, but he's got it in time for out number 1. So Braun retired, and the fly ball out the left. That will bring to the plate Omar Cerna Jr. Omar 0 for 2. You know, Jay Johnson mentioned it last night. Fighting Tiger 10th inning show with Bill Franquez. He said, look, you know, we got production. Put 8 runs up on the board for the 6th time. A losing effort in SEC play over the recent weeks, but the front 5 are providing the majority of the firepower. But Liam Peterson has certainly cut that down up to this point as Cerna takes his first pitch breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, you definitely, they've done enough offensively over the course of the SEC schedule. I mean, is it the greatest offense or most powerful offense in the world? No, but they've done enough offensively to win some ball games.
Cerna swings and misses. A nasty breaking ball that just runs away from the bat. It's 0-2.
For me, again, it all goes back to pitching and really all sorts of it. It's starting pitching. It's guys out of the bullpen. It's trying to close games. It starts with the starting pitching. If you can get guys that can get you 5-6 innings, you look at all the teams at the top of this league, the teams that are having really good years, they're going to have starting pitching. They're going to have probably a couple guys that every time you look, they're going to give you 5-6 innings. It's going to be quality. And they're going to give your team a chance. You always hear that, but they're going to give their team a chance. Not going to always be the best effort. You're not going to always have your best stuff, but they're going to go 5-6 innings pretty much every week.
Jay Johnson called an offensive timeout, brought Cerna over, talked to him for a moment, and then as Omar was headed back to the plate, Isaac Trujillo, the LSU trainer, came out. Had a few exchanges with Omar just to make sure he is okay. And now Isaac back in the dugout. Omar digs back in. Behind him the count 0-2 with 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. Peterson fires, and Cerna fouls this one back out of play. Still 0-2. Fans Dudley DeBosier stands up for the purple and gold. They fight for Tiger fans all across Louisiana. Dudley DeBosier proud to be an official partner of LSU athletics. Cerna tonight 0 for 2, a strikeout in the first. Did get a board on a fielder's choice. The 0-2 pitch, low and inside. That'll make it 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good take. That was a hard slider that looked like a strike for a long time, and Cerna able to spit on it.
Peterson's 1-2 delivery. Fastball at 99, but they say missed low below the knees. Now 2-2. Two pitch, a bouncer towards the shortstop Lawson. Gloves, throws to first. 2 down.
I mentioned the pitch count for Peterson it's approaching 80 pitches. Nice play really good play from Lawson to get Cerner Jr. making a routine play. Look easy, throw it across the diamond, but Peterson threw 112 pitches against Oklahoma a couple weeks ago. Again, he's typically going to be around that 100 pitch mark. He's got a bunch of 98, 96, 97s. No, I don't think he'll go more than 100 pitches.
Delivery to Curiel, off speed for a strike, and it's 0-1. Derek tonight 0 for 2, looking for his first knock. Tigers down 7-1 here, bottom of the 6th, the 0-1. Curiel laces this one, but foul, headed towards the seats and left. And now 0-2.
That's been the theme of the night, huh? Every time you look up, Peterson's usually 0-2 or ahead in the count to these Tiger hitters, as if his stuff wasn't already good enough. When he lives ahead in the count like that with the multiple pitches he throws, becomes that much more difficult.
The 0-2 pitch lifted in the air and drops down in left field. Sear has to wait for it, holds up, takes the bounce. Curiel with his first Bingo Pest Product base hit of the night, just the third for the Tigers, but a runner aboard with 2 outs. Gives a little life, a little hope for the Tigers coming to the plate. It'll be Cade Arrambide.
It took right at a 99-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. Curiel, good enough hitter to stay on top of it. There ain't a lot of them in the lineup, probably not a lot of them around the country that can take a pitch up in the zone like that, just inside out it, and serve it in the left field.
Pitch to Arrambide, going to miss up and out, 1-0. Cade tonight 0 for 2. Been struck out twice, 2 of Peterson's 8 tonight. The 1-0 pitch, swinging and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Another slider. We see that a lot. Peterson will throw more off-speed pitches. King, the fastball's not a lot better, but it's better than King's. But King relies on the fastball a lot more than Peterson does.
Pitch away, now 2-1 the count.
But you think, a guy that throws it a tick or two better from the velocity standpoint, you'd think he would lean on the fastball more. But yeah, it's the opposite. King has more confidence in that fastball and doesn't throw the all-speed pitches as much.
2-1, drops in at the knees for a strike. That'll be 2-2 now, the count to Arrambide.
It's not that King can't throw the slider. We watched him last night work all pitches, but again, Peterson with good control over that slider tonight, able to throw it in really a lot of different counts.
Two outs, runner at first, the 2-2 inside, and Arrambide able to hold back. That'll fill the count 3-2. Just rough math. Talked about the pitch count for Liam Peterson, now at 86, roughly about 14 pitches an inning.
Yeah, no, it's been efficient. And when you are a strikeout pitcher, and that's kind of what you hang your hat on, you're going to typically throw more pitches than the normal guy.
Payoff delivery, and Arrambide swings at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball and fouls it off. That'll keep it 3-2.
Guy that throws, pitches to more contact, he can have quicker innings. But you got a guy that throws as hard as he does, gets in the counts, gets to 2 strikes a lot, throws and strikes out a lot of guys. That pitch count will climb quicker than most. But you're right, Chris, at 14 an inning, that's been pretty efficient for a power pitcher.
Another payoff pitch upcoming with 2 outs, and Peterson fires. That one a called strike 3 at the knees with a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. Tigers are done here in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on. We head to the top of the 7th. Latter innings coming up. Florida leading 7-1. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.
When you shop Albertsons online or in our app, you can...
7-1, Florida leads. They come to the plate here in Game 2. Last night winning 11-8. Tigers able to make it interesting in those latter innings. Gonna have to try to do it again here tonight. Down 6 runs. Kason Evans back out for his second full inning of work. He'll face Brendan Lawson to get it started. First offering off speed but high. Ball 1-0. Again, Lawson tonight hit by a pitch aboard in the first. 2-run homer to right. Back in the second, aboard on a walk last time in the 5th inning. This pitch again off speed and outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
A guy with a lot of pop, has 14 home runs now this year. Hit 10 home runs last year as a freshman.
2-0 delivery. That one at the thighs across the plate, off speed. So starts off Lawson. All off speed offerings. It's now 2-1. Evans again off speed but upstairs. Now 3 balls, 1 strike. (3-1). That one at the belt for a strike. Nothing but off-speed pitches here to Lawson. That'll fill the count 3-2. Payoff delivery and a swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Lawson. Evans with his second strikeout. Masterfully done by the right-hander. All off speed.
Yep. Be good to get Evans back to how we know he can throw the baseball with the SEC tournament right ahead of us. I mean, it's no secret they're going to have to run the table and hold the trophy on Sunday next week to have a chance of getting into the NCAA tournament. And this guy, healthy and pitching like he knows how, is going to be big for them.
Surowick will come to the plate. Swing with a 9-iron on a pitch that dropped down low, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 speeds him back up but misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Surowick tonight, double with an RBI in the first. 2-run homer in the 5th. 2-1 now the count. Breaking ball. They'll appeal to first. They say Surowick held back. 3-1 now the count.
Yeah, careful with this guy. 3-1. You would think the way Evans has been throwing that off-speed pitch, he's going to go back to it.
And he does. Swing and a miss. Fills it up. 3-2. Surowick with that home run. Second on the weekend. Now joining the Gators double-digit club. He's got 10 on the year to go along with 54 runs batted in and 12 doubles. As that pitch way outside. Kason knew it when he let it go, and that'll put Surowick aboard. Second walk given up by Evans tonight. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So Surowick down at first base. And again, Caden McDonald.
It was getting loose down in the bullpen. Made a jog down to the dugout in between innings. Put the helmet on, ready to hit. How about that life?
First delivery outside. 1 ball, no strikes. McDonald tonight 0 for 2. Did reach base on a walk back in the first. Swing and a miss. Nasty breaking ball. Dropped away from the right-hander. It's 1-1. Surowick 2 for 3 in stolen bases at first, and a ground ball up the middle into center field. Base hit off the bat of McDonald. It's his first hit of the night, and with 1 away, Florida now runners first and second.
Yeah, got a little something cooking. Fastball caught, I mean, dead center of the plate. McDonald just stays back through the middle with it and gets his first hit of the evening.
Cash Strayer 0 for 3. Once again, Nate Yeske sprinting out from the dugout, going to visit on the mound. Listen up, fans, it's bold and fun. Play It's a Louisiana Thing from the lottery. Top prize $235,000. Louisiana Lottery celebrating 35 years of reasons to smile. Must be at least 21 to purchase. Gators tonight, 7 runs, 5 hits. They put 5 runs up in the first 2 frames, 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 more in the 5th inning. Tigers have Stephen Milam's solo home run in the bottom of the 4th. 1 run on just 3 hits.
LSU does have right-hander number 52, Zion Theophilus, getting loose down in their bullpen.
Surwick down at second. McDonald now aboard at first. Strayer waits on the first delivery, and Evans fires. The ground ball bouncer foul, first base side. It's 0-1.
Strayer, freshman for Florida, out of Tampa, Florida. Only freshman in the starting lineup tonight.
The 0-1, foul back, now 0-2.
He was ranked as the 41st overall player in the state of Florida coming out of high school. 12th overall outfielder in the state.
Evans ahead 0-2. Looks at the runner, now fires. Low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Evans looking maybe. You see a lot of right-handers try to throw that sinker down to left-handers, but a ball down in the zone, try to get straight or roll over one. Got a double play ball.
1-2, also lifted in the air, but foul back behind us. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strayer, 4 Gators so far tonight without a hit. Strayer 0 for 3, Bowen 0 for 3. Stripling and Yost also hitless tonight, along with Blake Sear. Evans going to turn, throw back to Milam at second to check on Surwick. He's back easily. Still 1-2 the count to Cash Strayer. Evans, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and down on strikes. Oh no, that was just strike 2. Stand corrected.
Wasn't sure if Strayer possibly fouled it off, but it might have been strike 2.
Nonetheless, another chance here with a 1-2 count. Evans delivers down in the dirt. By the way, we mentioned Omar Cerna. They checked on him on a couple of occasions just to see if he was feeling well. Edward Yaman now has come in to catch. Again, it's Cerna's last at bat. The trainer checking on him, but Yaman called in from the bullpen. This one lifted, line drive shot to right field, coming down, but it is going to land in the front row of the diamond deck. Got out of here in a hurry. Strayer with his 4th home run of the year. And Florida now with a 3-run blast has made it a 10-1 ball game.
Well, Casey Evans left the pitch up in the zone, off-speed pitch, sped the bat up of Strayer, and he hit it 349 feet, just up in the zone, 349 feet to right field. And TrackMan gives you a lot of information. It doesn't tell you how long it takes to exit the ballpark from the bat, but that one got out in about half a second. That thing was a missile to right field, and yeah, Florida just continues to pour it on.
6th hit of the night for the Gators as Evans brings the first offering to Bowen up and in, who had to drop down to get out of the way, and it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch in the air, high in the air, right center field. Coming over is Braun. He will have it. The 2nd out of the inning. 10 runs on 6 hits tonight for the Gators. And Jay Johnson now on his way out, and he'll make a change. So the Tigers make a pitching change here. Casey Evans' night is done with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, but a 10-1 Florida lead. Gators in control for a 2nd straight night. I'll tell you about the new Tiger pitcher when we return. 10-1 Florida leads. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. LSU will call upon a freshman right-hander. Zion Theophilus takes over on the mound. Comes in with the Tigers trailing 10-1 to the Florida Gators here in Game 2. Fans, find out how you can build a better workday every day with Cintas. Visit Cintas.com. Get ready for the workday. Theophilus will face the first baseman for the Gators, Landon Stripling, when his final tosses are done.
Theophilus making his 16th appearance of the year. He has a 4.5 ERA, 16 innings pitched this year. He's given up 12 hits, 8 runs, 15 walks, and 15 strikeouts. Be 91 to 94 with the fastball. He's got a curveball, actually throws a split finger and a cutter.
First pitch to Stripling is upstairs for ball 1. Pitches again, eye level, a little inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Again, 16 appearances for the freshman out of Cincinnati. 2-0. This one driven on a frozen rope to right, and this one gets over the yellow line, over the fence. Another round tripper for the Gators. Stripling with home run number 5, and it's now 11-1.
Home run number 5, 91 mile an hour fastball that went 106 off the bat from Stripling, 351 feet, and again, just too much of the plate up in the zone. I mean, belt high, and just one thing about Florida is they swing big. They'll miss big at times too, but when they are getting pitches to hit up in the zone, they can hit it a long way, and they can hit it hard a long way.
So now we'll see Cade Curlin pitch to the right-hander. Swing and a miss with a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. The Tigers will come to the plate in the bottom of the 7th, trying to avoid the run rule. The 0-1 pitch. Low and in the dirt, gets away from Yaman. It's 1-1.
Yeah, quick Republic Finance scoreboard update. We've got Vanderbilt leading South Carolina 7-5 in the bottom of the 8th. Ole Miss blanking Alabama 7-0, bottom of the 8th.
1-1, yanked, and a base hit through the 6 hole into left field. Off the bat of Curlin. His second hit of the night, and with 2 outs, Florida keeps it going.
Yeah, continuing to put good swings on Tiger pitching, but continue with those scoreboard updates. Arkansas and Kentucky all knotted up at 4 apiece. That's the top of the 8th in Lexington. Tennessee leading Oklahoma 5-3. Texas in the 7th is trying to run rule Missouri 10-0, and Texas A&M and Mississippi State in a slugfest 11-9. The Aggies lead the Bulldogs.
Now we'll see Hayden Yost at the bottom of the order. First pitch from Theophilus, a fastball missing for ball 1. Zion delivers. This one straight up into the air. Shallow center field. Curiel coming in and waits on it and squeezes it for out number 3. But the Gators, with their biggest output of the night, 4 runs on 4 hits, couple of long balls included. It's 11-1. The Tigers facing the 10-run rules we head now to the bottom of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch here at the box. 11-1 Florida leads. LSU comes to the plate. Milam, Dardar, and Stanfield. After this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. If your pitch and strike ratio is somewhere between 60 and 65%, you're doing a really good job. As Milam sends another fly ball down the line in left. Coming over deep in the corner is Blake Sear, and he makes the play for out number 1. Coming into this inning, Liam Peterson had connected 67%. strikes called tonight.
Well,
that is considered excellent.
Look, I don't want anybody to get too upset with me here because I don't like to compare anybody to Paul Skeens, but Paul Skeens was one of the best probably I've ever seen, and still to this day, of a power pitcher with such great command. Usually guys that are power pitchers, they struggle at times with command. I mean, Peterson is as close to that with the arm, the velocity that he throws with, and being able to control all the pitches, throw everything for strikes.
Seth Dardar to the plate with one out in the bottom of the 7th, swings and misses. And again, what has been an impressive, I mean, we can talk about the fastball, and it's been good, but boy, oh boy, to complement that with his off-speed pitches and breaking balls has been something to watch. There's another swing and a miss on almost the exact same pitch, and it's 0-2 to Dardar.
Yeah, Peterson trying to finish this thing out. They do have, they've got a host of Gators down in the bullpen. Nobody throwing at the moment.
0-2 the count to Dardar with one away, nobody on. And a swing and a miss. He went 3 breaking balls, and down on strikes goes Dardar for the first time tonight. That is strikeout number 10 for Liam Peterson.
Yep, that's just one of these nights, and really it's been a season for LSU, but this is a microcosm of the season, just facing a stud of a pitcher in Liam Peterson and just not able to do anything with it, or with him.
Chris Stanfield stands in with 2 down. First pitch a called strike, and it's 0-1. Again, getting the hard slider over for a strike just makes things even more complicated.
It's not like he's flipping that in there as a get me over. I mean, it's getting over, but it is coming in with some short break, and that is not a hittable pitch.
Stanfield trying to keep things alive here in the bottom of the 7th. Will swing and miss at a fastball that was up and out at 99.4 on the gun. It's 0-2.
Not sure where the draft projection has this young man, but it's got to be high.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Liam Peterson. It's a complete game victory. 7-inning run rule for the Gators, 11-1 the final. And Florida, just like in 2024, coming to Baton Rouge, and they take the series 2-0 with 1 remaining tomorrow with first pitch at 2 o'clock. The Gators now 36-18 on the season. 17-12 in SEC play. The Tigers fall to 29-26. They are now 9-20 in SEC play. 7 innings. A run rule victory for the Gators here in Baton Rouge. Final score, Florida 11, LSU 1. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.